Well, as you know, Wham Bam has always been committed to making 3D printing easier, more fun, and more productive. But we've also had a very high concentration and focus on trying to make 3D printing safer. And you can see that in our whole resin line of products, our slab mats, our protective products. You can see it in our hotbox window filters for laser cutting. We have it everywhere. Wham Bam also has the Cloud fire extinguisher, and our Cloud fire extinguisher was one of our baseline products that started off our focus on protection, and we're continuing it today. We have a new Cloud that we're going to be introducing. We have the Cloud Aero. It's available in a regular size and an XL size. They're both the same size product. The difference in the two products is the amount of aerosol contained in each one of these. These come with a Velcro hook rear end, and they come with a patch with Velcro loop and 3M backing. That way you can mount this patch anywhere, and the Cloud will affix to that semi-permanently. You can always remove it and put it in any printer situation. What's the difference between our old Cloud and our new Cloud? Well, first of all, form factor. The old one was much wider and a bigger diameter, so we've reduced it as much as possible to make them able to fit into tight spaces. These new printers with built-in enclosures typically don't leave a lot of extra space for other objects, so this Cloud fits really nicely in there. Also, our previous Cloud was made of ABC powder that gets emitted through a brief explosion, which would disperse the powder. It effectively put out fires, but it made a bit of a mess and it could harm PCBs. Our new Cloud Aero works with an aerosol component. So the way the Cloud works is you have these two arms, which are basically temperature sensors. And if the temperature of your printer reaches 170 degrees C, which is only the case in a fire, these will activate. That activation converts a solid component inside of the Cloud into an aerosol gas, which then comes out of these vent holes here. That gas then extinguishes your fire, and the nice thing is it doesn't really leave any residue and does not harm PCBs. You'll have to do a cleanup because of the fire, but not because of the Cloud, which is really wonderful. It does put out class A, B, C, and E fires, as you'll see listed on our website and on the product, and it's ready to use. These have a 10-year shelf life, don't require batteries, don't require maintenance. So let's talk about where you can mount the Cloud. First thing, any printer in its own enclosure is a great candidate. This is an X1C, so it's a nice example. The space that we found most viable for this was here on the right wall. Different printers have different space. You'll have to find the right one for you. If it can mount above, great. The ideal placement is as high as possible so that the temperature from the fire gets up to the device. But for fire suppression, it really doesn't matter because this thing is going to put out an aerosol gas that fills the whole container. If you have an open frame printer, we do recommend using the hotbox. All of our hotboxes were mounted with a patch at the top, and that patch is there because you could easily just put a Cloud right there and you have instant protection. Even our resin hotboxes for resin printers have a patch for the Cloud, which you see on the right side, so you can protect your resin printer in case there's ever a short or any reason that it might catch on fire. This gives you that added level of protection. So as I've said, the Cloud Aero works best with printers with their own enclosures. Printers that either have their own enclosures built around them like the X1C, or within a hotbox or an external enclosure, or other machines with enclosures such as CNC and lasers. If you have an open frame printer without an enclosure, it is possible to use a Cloud, although it's much more advisable to use it with an enclosure. The efficiency of the fire extinguishing is due to many factors. The mounting distance between the Cloud and the ignition area, whether it's the hot end, the machine components on the build plate, the airflow and ventilation. If you have a lot of airflow, it could be a big issue. And also the fire size and material type. Just to understand, the Cloud aerosol works basically with two factors in mind. The concentrations, the amount of the aerosol that builds up around the printer, around the fire, and the dwelling time, the amount of time that aerosol can stay here before it disperses. That's why a lot of the closed printers and enclosures are your best solution for a cloud. If that aerosol does not have the time to dwell and your fire was due to, let's say, plastic burning for a large amount of plastic that's containing the flame, this could be less effective. It's still adding a secondary layer of protection more than you would have if you didn't have a cloud. But for best use cases, we do recommend closed printers or printers in enclosures. As far as your choice between the regular and the XL, the regular is more than enough. It covers 0.2 meters squared, and you can find on the website the approximate volume of area it covers. Enough to cover any standard enclosed 3D printer up to, like, let's say the Bamboo H2 line. The XL is for massively larger printers. It covers a 0.5 meters cubed of area. It's also very good for very large CNC machines and laser machines, which have enclosures which take up a lot more space. If you are mounting to an open frame printer, we do recommend the XL for the added protection of the extra aerosol. So I think that covers all of the main points. Now we're going to show you a quick video of us testing it outdoors. We've put it inside of our Centuri carbon right here. And we're going to be lighting this thing on fire and seeing how it reacts live for the first. It's on. It's going to burn the heck out of that thing. It's a big flame. Go ahead, close it. Let's get some of the air down. Okay, it's got to reach 170 degrees C. Right now I'm reading 52.
Oh, because there's no
Let's
air.
open it up for a second. 58. Don't want the. There we go.
Well, look at that.
That's actually pretty dope.
That worked pretty well. Yeah.
See when it clears out. The fire is definitely out. The machine has been saved. Doesn't look like there's going to be too much cleanup other than the flame. There's no soot here.
Pretty dope. That worked, yeah.
There's soot obviously from the fire, but not from the gas. I'd say that this is 100% success. I hope this was informative, and we look forward to hearing your comments and likes. Thank you.